Welcome back to Flute Tube. Today I'm going to give you two exercises that are very fast, efficient, effective, great ways to learn better where your support muscles are and start to use them more and be more connected with exactly where we find them in our bodies. But first, before you watch this episode, I would suggest that if you have not yet, you go back and watch my Flute Tube episode 5, which is called Building Better Breath Support. My earliest Flute Tube episodes contain a lot of my very most fundamental teaching ideas, so that's why it's episode 5. Breath support is so critically important for flute players and all wind instrumentalists as well as singers. Once you watch episode 5, you should feel that you're very familiar with my concepts about breath support and how it works, and these exercises are great to build on top of that and quickly find your breath support. Of course, you can't just jump right in and use these exercises. They're very intuitive and they will help you support better pretty much instantaneously. The first of these two exercises that I want to share with you today, I just call the ha exercise. And if you look for videos on this, you'll find it from a lot of singers on YouTube. I just don't understand why I don't hear more wind instrumentalists using it. It's such a fast way to connect with your lower abdominal muscles and feel them working. The concept is you just say ha, ha, but you have to be sure that it's really low and coming from your lower abdominal muscles around and below your belt. You have to be sure that it's not high like this. Ha, ha, ha. In fact, I find this is a great exercise to do in master classes or other group settings of students, because if you ask someone, especially someone a little bit younger, to do this in front of a group of people, they get very self-conscious and they kind of move up to this higher place and say, ha, ha, and you have to convince them, move it down, connect with your lower abdominal muscles. Ha, ha. It might help you to find this placement if you imitate Santa Claus laughing with a really low belly laugh. Ho, 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 ho. Ho, ho, ho. You want to specifically feel those lower muscles working. Singers often use this exercise and connect it directly to their singing. So they might sing ha, 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 ha. Obviously, flutists and other wind instrumentalists can do the same thing and feel where those muscles are working. Fundamentally, this exercise very quickly helps you to locate those support muscles. But I also like to use this for a very specific purpose when I'm playing the flute, which is when I'm doing aggressive articulations, especially accents. If you think of this low ha when you give an accent, it immediately makes the accent effective, in tune, and very noticeable. Sometimes flutists think that they're doing an accent, but we can't really hear it. Well, with this, you're going to get a good, powerful accent. It will not go sharp, it will not be tight or tense, and that's all very important because, again, we tend to come up here to accent, ha, ha. If you create the accent from up higher in your torso, you're going to be pushing and using the wrong muscles to make these accents happen. You don't get as much volume and power that way because you're not as connected to your low, stronger muscles. But more importantly, it's very bad for pitch because it's closer to where the accent's happening and you're tightening up and you're going to go sharp, especially in the high register. I hope you're excited to go try this exercise. If you feel self-conscious about it, you can go close yourself up in a bathroom or closet and give it a try. You don't have to do it for the first time, like I was saying, in front of a big group of flutists in a masterclass setting. But if you think this might help you and you're excited to hear another quick, effective support exercise, give this video a like and subscribe to my channel. Now that you've done that, let's go on to the second exercise for today. I inherited this from my old teacher, Michel Debost, who taught for many years at the Paris Conservatory and then moved to the United States and taught at Oberlin Conservatory. He calls this the octave button. The reason Michel Debost emphasized using the octave button was that he wanted you to focus on those big, powerful support muscles to go up a large interval like an octave, rather than relying on small, weak little face muscles to get that to happen. If you're going to go up an octave or another big interval, rather than thinking too much about moving your jaw or your embouchure or your face, you think about pushing the octave button. There are small changes that you have to make with your face, especially your embouchure, in order to go up a large interval. If you want to know more about that, you could check out my videos on vampire muscles, or you could look at the one that's called 3 flute embouchure goals. But Michel Debost's point was not don't use these muscles. His point was focus on using your big powerful support muscles and trust these little muscles to do the work without overdoing it and wearing them out too much. The octave button, you might consider that it's imaginary, but it's a little button located somewhere right around your belly button. This is why I've connected my episode on the octave button to the same episode where I'm talking about this ha exercise, because it's the same place. If you kind of put your fingers where your belly button is or right around there and you say ha, that's what you're going to push to create an octave. So that is also your octave button. When you go up an octave or a large interval, instead of thinking, move my jaw, close my lips, bring my lips forward, tighten this or that or the other, think of keeping everything up here in your upper torso, your throat, your face, your jaw, your embouchure relaxed, and instead focus on pushing the octave button. That gives you a little extra support, which gives you the airspeed that you need to go up, whether it's an octave or another large interval. The octave button may be a little trickier to find instinctively than doing that ha exercise, which happens very automatically in our bodies. That's why I gave you the ha exercise first, so that you can locate where your octave button is. But there's another exercise I want to give you here that is great for finding and using your octave button. This is what it is. If in doubt about feeling where your octave button is, sit down and play a low pitch. Whatever your favorite low pitch is, I'll go with a low G. What you're going to do now is stand up, and as you stand up, you go up an octave. What you will find is that as you stand up, you have to engage those low muscles that give us breath support. And if you think of going up the octave as those muscles are engaging, you very naturally, effortlessly rise up that octave, because it can happen as you're engaging your support muscles. There you go, 2 easy, fast, efficient exercises to locate and start using your support muscles better. Or if you feel like I've already found all of this, I know exactly where those things are in my body, it's a great teaching tool. Happy practicing and happy teaching support.